'Cause
I had it on very
I
low in my
totally forgot to turn down the music. That might be a problem for the recording.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the YokeTalk, all you yokers out there. Hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. We got a great show planned for you guys today. Unworthy Seraph, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. We're doing the remote stream.
Amen.
Again, the complicated stream to just fix all the things and make everything work. I'm remoting myself in from Kentucky to Virginia and streaming streaming the stream from my PC in Virginia, even though I'm not there, but technology, here we go.
Technology is great. So we got a great show lined up for you guys today. Obviously, there's a whole lot of things going on. There's rumors, there's crazy stuff going on. So some things we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the Switch because every year there's a rumor that there's a new Switch coming out. Did you know, Unworthy Seraph, that there's a new Switch coming out? Rumored again?
Again, it's only like the seventh time.
Just like 2019, 2018, and 2017. Everything was a rumor. Some of them came true, some of them did not.
I mean, I'm
But
pretty sure the Switch Pro has been rumored since before the regular Switch was even released.
you might not be wrong. You actually might not be wrong about that. But we have some other awesome things going on. Fortnite is losing in the category of Twitch against Fall Guys. But is there a new killer out there? Is Fortnite/Epic losing in another battle against Apple? We'll talk about that a little bit. We're going
The
to talk
plot
about
thickens.
how people are backing up Epic. How they're backing up Epic, still beyond me. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. We also have, once again, Fortnite, another battle against Apple. But what are they doing this time? About a tournament. We're going to tell you guys what prizes they're handing out and some fun stuff there as
You
well.
know, all of those are very related to each other. You don't have to necessarily go through each and every one of them.
I'm going through each and every one of them. Finally, we're going to be talking
I told
about
him not to forget to talk about the topics, and now he's like talking about all of them, even though you don't
details.
necessarily have to say all of them. But
Details. It's all about the detail.
it's
You
all
got
or
to make
nothing
sure.
with you. All or
If you
nothing.
focus on details, you'll be successful in life. We're also going to be talking about how developers are using mobile games to help save the planet?
Save
Question
the
mark.
planet, Captain Planet.
How does this happen? Candy Crush? I'm not too sure, but Captain Planet, he's our hero. And then finally, we might be talking about not just saving the world, but we're going to be talking about New World as well. Possibly if we have enough time at the end of the show. But anyways, guys, let's roll that intro.
Let's do it. Proud of you today for talking about the topics, even if you
Well,
did talk about them too much. But
hey, listen. Attention to detail is everything. That's all I got to say about that.
all right, so
Ah,
first topic we have for you guys today: Nintendo plans upgraded Switch console and major games for 2021, supposedly.
supposedly.
So we have heard this a dozen times at this point. You know, is there going to be a Switch Pro, some sort of upgraded console? And let me look at the article here because I forget the actual source of these rumors. Do you remember?
I don't remember who it was. I know that the Wall Street Journal was the rumor from 2019, not 2019. It was before the Switch Lite came out. I believe it's the Wall Street Journal that called that one, and they were right. That was the rumor that they called, and they got that one right. This one, to be completely honest, I all right. I'll put this out there. The Switch is the best console, in my opinion. It is the perfect console. It's underpowered.
That
I see
doesn't
this
make it
being
perfect, man.
right, but that's the only thing about it. It's underpowered. So I believe that this could possibly be true. My opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a really different conversation now with the PS5 and Xbox One X. Or no, Xbox Series X. Sorry, so confusing. The
Hey.
names. Get it together, Microsoft. Anyway, I think it's a very different conversation in this year with those new consoles on the horizon because in the past, yes, the Switch was underpowered, but it wasn't like so far behind that it was impossible, right? We've
Right.
still seen plenty of AAA games come to the Switch. Not the highest fidelity and hard to run games, of course, but we've seen a ton of like really AAA games come to the Switch, like Witcher 3 and things like that. Games that you maybe never would have expected to come out on the
Overwatch,
Switch.
it's
Even
broken on the
Warframe.
Switch, but
Yeah,
it's on there,
there's
right?
lots of games that did make it to the Switch, despite it being less powerful than the other consoles. But as the new consoles approach, I think the landscape looks a lot different for the Switch, and that gap is going to get even bigger. So if there was ever a time for them to be looking towards an updated Switch console, I do think it would be in the near future because of that.
Right. And not only that, I mean, we're in the year of 2020. Generally, it's 6 to 7 years before a new generation of consoles comes out. You're looking at 3 to 4 years for a new Nintendo console. So this is the time to do it. Like you're in the middle of its cycle. This is the time. Obviously, you had the Switch Lite. That was an upgrade, right? If anything,
Mhm.
it was a
It was a
downgrade.
battery upgrade.
It was a battery upgrade, that's true, but if anything, it was a downgrade from the original Switch. It was smaller, it wasn't able to be docked. I'm not saying it was a bad idea, it was a great idea. People were buying it off the shelves like crazy when it first came out, but what I'm trying to say is now's the time to make a more powerful one. Not only that, there's a lot of plans for Switch games in the near future. So I think this is the time to be able to come out with it. If you want any more power to be pushed out of the system, I think this is the time to do it.
Yeah, one of the things that the article mentions that I think is a good point is Nintendo hasn't been as transparent as like what their game lineup is looking like. Not even just like in the near future, but like they usually they don't plan further than a year out usually.
Right.
But even now, like we don't know almost anything that's coming. Like off the top of my head, I can't name one Switch game that we know of that's coming.
Uh,
Can you?
That we know of, that's confirmed? No.
That's confirmed
That
to have like a release date.
you mean like a Nintendo game, right?
Yeah,
Like when it yeah,
there's nothing. Like obviously we know things like Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Prime 4 exist, things like that, but those are probably at least a year and a half out or so. So
right.
like what are they doing? And like they had like an indie showcase, but there was like barely anything to it. Like
There's not a whole lot out there that they're not and they have so much to work with, right? They have old titles that they can bring back. Please bring back a good F-Zero. Perfect, right? Like something that you haven't seen since Nintendo
I don't
64.
know if that
Bring
would
back
sell well
it
in
probably
this day and
wouldn't,
age.
but well, I honestly, if they marketed it right, it's Nintendo. I
Well,
honestly think they
sure.
could
Okay.
sell it fine. But you have you could even do a new Mario Kart. Like, do we need one? No. But the last one that you got was Deluxe,
It was
which was
perfect.
it was on the Wii U. It
It was
was
actually
perfect.
perfect.
So how do you make a new one, right? But anyways, but like you said, they don't plan things a year more than a year out, except for big titles. So for example, Zelda, right? That was planned. We heard about that in what 2013 or 2014. Like we heard about Breath of the Wild pretty early. We didn't know the name of it, but we saw it. We saw the ancient. Everybody thought it was a what did they thought it was I forgot, like a Zora or something like that, and everybody was wrong. And they're
Oh,
like,
wait.
"Oh, and this is an ice arrow," and it wasn't an ice
Yeah, I
arrow at
think I
all,
know
it
what
was the
you're talking about.
ancient arrow. So, like they had this little trailer thing, but this was years before, and now you had the whole Metroid Prime 4. And when was that? 2017 or
I don't
18?
want to talk about it.
So anyways, so this is more than a year out, but here's my thing. Here's my thing. If they come out with a more powerful Switch, I want to see these things. I want to see a bigger screen. I don't want you to change the Joy Cons overall. There's new stuff they're talking about the Joy Cons that have hinges. I don't even know what that would look like or why they have a hinged Joy-Con. That doesn't even make sense to me. But the patent is out there regardless, whatever that's going to look like. Don't change the Joy-Cons. I don't care about the hinges. That's fine. But you don't need to make them longer or anything like that. Just make a bigger screen, first
They
of
can
all.
definitely do that with the current like form factor too. Like the bezel's
Right.
pretty big. Like they've got some room
Right.
to work with there.
The bezel's huge.
Mhm.
It's really big, to be
I believe
completely
it's
honest.
smaller on the Switch Lite. Switch Lite doesn't have as
It
big bezel, I think.
it should be. Yeah,
Yeah.
I never saw the Switch Lite, but it should be. I've seen pictures of it. And then, finally, like, honestly, I just want 1080p. That's all I'm looking for,
1080p portable?
1080p portable. That's all I'm looking for. Keep the 1080p on the screen, keep it on the portable as well. I'd be fine with that. I don't need this 4K stuff. That's cool, but
What about 4K docked?
that would be really nice, but then we're looking at a really high price range. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we'd be looking at, like, at a $500 console at that point, and I don't know if I'm willing to I'm okay, I'm willing, to shell out $500 on the Switch because it's just amazing. But that's what I'm waiting to see. That's what I wanna see, especially with these new titles that they have coming out supposedly in the future. I would rather play it on something that's gonna be able to smoothly play these games and also create more room for, being able to improve upon the games that, they already have, so.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how big the divide would be between the two consoles if it actually ends up coming out with some sort of more powerful Switch. Like, are we going to see way more games that are made for the newer one, or is it only going to be a few and most are still made for both?
Mm,
Maybe they still come out for both, but the one for the older Switch has some more compromises, things like that. I'd be interested to see kind of what that divide looks like when they came out with the new Nintendo 3DS, which was not the greatest name, but it's what we got. Um, it had like a slightly faster processor, so it wasn't like crazy more powerful, but it did allow them to do a few things. And I know the Xenoblade that they ported to the 3DS was exclusive to the new 3DS
right.
because they needed that extra power. I can't recall any other games that were exclusive to the new 3DS. Um, so I'm wondering that with this potential Switch Pro, are we going to see something like where it's only a couple games, or will it be the majority of the games get made for the newer Switch model?
Just because I have 2 thoughts on that. Because it's Nintendo, part of me really wants to say that there's gonna be games that are specifically made for the new console, which kinda breaks my heart, to be completely honest. They come but at the same time, it makes those games better, right?
Yep.
Because they don't have to play on a lower system. On the other hand, you look at the PlayStation 4 Pro or PS4 Pro, whatever, and, the Xbox XS, X1S, it was a bunch of letters, whatever, Xbox, once again, get it together. But
Series X.
anyways, uh, it you could play multiple you could play, what was it? Jedi Fallen Order, right? You could play it on a PlayStation 4, but you could also play it on a PlayStation 4 Pro in 4K, so it
Mhm.
had that ability to be on both. I think that would be the route that Nintendo would go, but with Nintendo in the past, eh, part of me thinks that that might actually not be the route that they take, so who knows?
Well, I mean, I don't expect them to like, because like it's not like you buy a PlayStation game and then you have to buy it again on the PS4 Pro. Like they're
Right.
shared, so it's not like we need to rebuy our games or anything. It would just be a matter of if the game literally cannot run it all on the old Switch and they can only release it on the new Switch.
Right, right. That makes sense. Yeah, and honestly, I mean, the biggest one that I'm looking forward to, I'm excited. I know you're excited for Metroid Prime 4. You should be. You've played all the Prime games. You've been waiting for this game. And the fact
I'll
that
get it eventually.
your hopes and dreams got dashed a couple years ago when they essentially said nothing went our way. We're scrapping it and building it from the ground up
Which
again.
I'm happy about. Like, I don't want them to deliver a bad game, but
Right. But
just gotta
I
wait.
am waiting for Breath of the Wild 2. This is the time. I personally do not see this being more than a year out. I don't. And the reason why, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I know that I say this a lot and then it never happens, right? Sky or not Skyrim, but Elder Scrolls 6. It's not coming out till like 2025 at this point, right? But I think they already have the engine made. They already have the world essentially built and placed exactly the way that they want it. Obviously, you're going to have to change the landscape for whatever they're trying to do with this game a little bit, but it's the same everything. Essentially, what they had for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. It was easy. They did it in 2 years and made a great game. It's been 3 years, Nintendo. It's been 3.5 years, and I
We're
am
getting there.
still waiting.
We're getting there. I mean, I don't think they entirely started right after the first one released. We know that some of
Yeah,
the DLC ideas from for the original were inspiration for the sequel,
that's right.
but that definitely wasn't like full fledged working on a sequel. So to
Is
say they've been working on it for 3 years is a little
here's
misleading.
here's
But
my question though. I have a feeling, and I could be completely wrong. I don't know if it's a sequel. I wonder if it's a prequel.
they said it was a sequel.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, they
And the reason
said
why I was saying that is because
yeah.
I know people argue this tooth and nail. It's Ganondorf. Okay, I'm sorry, but those pictures are Ganondorf. It's not all these other people you try to say it is. It's Ganondorf. You see the jewel, you see the crown, it's Ganondorf. Or the hair, it's there. It's Ganondorf. I was so sad that he was not in Breath of the Wild. He is my favorite character in the, I was so sad.
When they showed the trailer, the text that comes up on the screen specifically says sequel.
Sequel. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wrong.
It's okay.
I'm wrong. But hey, I want to see Ganondorf, and I'm excited about it. So, but yeah, that's the only new Switch game other than Metroid Prime 4 that I can honestly think
I'm
of.
sure there's more, but
There's
those are
more, and
definitely the main ones.
they have, like I said, Nintendo has a plethora of stuff that they could do right now.
Oh
Mario
yeah.
Golf. Where's Mario Golf on the Switch, Nintendo? Something like give us something here. You gave us Paper Mario in 2 months. I'll talk about that later.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, going back to the Switch Pro, I would wonder what time of year do you think they would want to release it? Because we saw something pretty unconventional with the original Switch release, with them
March,
launching it
yeah.
in March. Very unconventional for a console launch. Usually they go for the holiday season with those. So do you think they do something like that again, or do you think they go holiday season of next year?
With their marketing, they could do it at any time of the year and be just fine with it. Their
Yeah.
marketing for the original Switch, there's a reason why it's the hottest selling console on the market, like since it came out. I think it would be a miss not to do it in holiday season though. But at the same time, it's August. Like we need something here. We need some sort of idea. They didn't give us anything though for the Switch until what was it, January? We finally got the release date for the Switch. It was 2 months before. I think it was January.
Was it? No.
I think it
I
was
think
early
I
January.
think we had the release date for the Switch. I think we didn't have the release date for Breath of the Wild until
I thought they
January.
both came out the same
They
day.
did, but we didn't know they were
No,
coming the
no,
same
no.
day until
I mean
January.
the release date.
I
I
don't
thought they were.
remember.
Hmm. I would have to go back and watch. But regardless of all of that, I don't know. Never ceases to surprise me. Nobody actually knows what they're doing. Maybe it's just a figment of our imagination. Maybe we're actually all living in the Matrix and Nintendo is the real world.
Okay. But yeah, I think they could do whatever they want.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
It'll be successful.
It will be. So I'm excited though. Definitely excited. But speaking of things going, well, actually, there's just no segue into this.
This is a
Apple and
completely different topic.
Apple and Epic, guys. We all knew this was going to happen. Love this quote here, and it's a title of an article, but Seraph believes this was a real quote. Apple says Fortnite can come back anytime. Sounds great. Once Epic cleans up its hot mess.
The hot mess part is the quote. And I believe they say who says it here in the article, but that's some fighting words.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're wrong though. I'm not going to say they're wrong. We'll talk about more of why I think Apple is winning this battle currently right now, but specifically, they're starting to say, "Hey, it's okay if you come back, just as long as you clean up your stuff." What do you think is what? What do you think's going to happen, Sarah? Are they going to actually clean up their stuff, or are they just going to continue going with their craziness that they've been doing as of
I
late?
don't know. I was trying to find who exactly said the hot mess quote, but it might take me a little while to dig through the article to find it again.
Yeah,
It's some guy. The hot mess part was an actual thing that somebody said about it.
yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and go over the update on it. The major update. The fact that believe I got an article for it. Yeah, so a court ruled that Apple cannot revoke Epic Games Unreal Engine developer tools. So basically in response to um for Epic Games violating their App Store policies. Apple also decided to revoke their developer rights to the Apple Store for their Unreal Engine. So the
Right.
court has ruled that they're not allowed to take that extra step. They've said nothing about taking Fortnite off the App Store. That's a much different conversation because they did violate their policies. They are well within their rights to take Fortnite off of the App Store. But as far as denying them access to developer support for Unreal Engine, the court has ruled that they're not allowed to do that. So Epic Games is getting some save there, but I don't think there's a whole lot that's going to happen on the Fortnite end of things,
Nah.
especially with the way that they continue to handle things like having a hashtag free Fortnite tournament that rewards people with anti-Apple prizes.
Yes.
This
Anti-Apple.
is an actual thing. It happened on Monday, I think.
Last week we talked about how Epic came out with this anti-Apple commercial and Fortnite. It was like we all at Fortnite. It was a whole thing from 1980 something. They were trying to reenact it, but do it complete. It was bad. So regardless of all of that, Epic
I
is
mean, it
going
was kind
the
of genius, but
it was, but here's the problem. Like Epic is going the extra mile to lose this court case. Is this all a publicity stunt? Like
maybe
to be completely honest,
maybe they thought Fortnite was dying. Heck, we need to get people
Fortnite,
talking about it again.
Fortnite used to have 400,000 viewers at any hour on Twitch. They're down to what? I'm gonna check this. They're under Fall Guys. Everybody knows this. They're under Fall
Yeah.
Guys. You have a ton of streamers who used to stream Fortnite. Let me go to my Twitch here. Browse category. Okay, New World is okay. Let's be honest. Just Chatting is number one. I don't count that as a category. New World, Fall Guys, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto 5, League of Legends, Counter Strike. You keep going down the list. Fortnite, 112,000 viewers. Is that small? No. For them, huge, huge, huge. They're getting dethroned. They got dethroned by a game called Among Us that I haven't even heard about until yesterday. So this is a publicity stunt. I am convinced. I'm talking myself through this. It's a publicity
It,
stunt.
in another update to this situation, we mentioned it earlier. Microsoft is throwing their hat into the ring of this
Yes.
debacle. Phil Spencer actually tweeted out and said today. Today was the 23rd, is when this tweet was posted. He said today we filed a statement in support of Epic's request to keep access to the Apple SDK for its Unreal Engine. Ensuring that Epic has access to the latest Apple technology is the right thing for gamer developers and gamers. Interesting for him to say gamer developers, but that's probably a typo, I would
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
You would think.
basically, I hope Phil Spencer, you're better than this. But so basically, Microsoft is showing support for the engine side of the debacle, where they're right saying that it would hurt a lot of game developers to have that happen. So
Yes.
they're not exactly siding with Epic entirely, but they are trying to make a statement like, hey, we don't think this would be good for the industry. So they're throwing their hat into the ring, but also like playing it safe, not getting too involved. They're just like, excuse me, yeah, that would be bad. Can we not do that? Thanks.
I I think they should just not have said anything at all, to be completely honest.
Think so?
It, it better safe to be listen, this has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Just back out of it. You have enough stuff going on right now with your
I
new
mean,
console.
it's
Do they have a lot of stuff on the Apple Store that uses an Unreal Engine, like Microsoft itself?
So I don't know, but I do know that they have had issue getting their Project X Cloud, whatever it is they're calling it now,
Yeah.
their game streaming app
Yeah.
onto the App Store. So while not entirely related, they do also have qualms with Apple.
Mm.
So maybe this is just one small little part where they're trying to kind of get Apple to change their ways so that hopefully Apple will change in general, and then they will also be able to kind of get their app on the platform in the way that they would like.
I, I guess that makes sense. You
So they do
I don't know.
have some stake in this. It's just kind of indirect.
I don't know. This whole thing I don't know. I don't know.
It's
I'm wondering like with everything you do, there's a goal. Everything you do in life, e- everything you do, there's a goal and a vision. What is Epic
what
trying
is
to
the
do?
goal? That's
What
a
is
good
the goal?
question.
Apple is such a conglomerate. Like it's so big, and Epic is large as well. But you're not as big as Apple. I'm sorry, you're not. Fortnite is a big thing. You're looking at hundreds of thousands, okay, millions of players. Apple has been around forever. Like they've been around for a long time. I just don't know what they're. I don't know.
It's a good question. Yeah, I was listening to another podcast of people talking about this, and one of them mentioned that they think it's pretty likely that Epic kind of planned all this out from the start, in that like they fully expected it to be removed from the App Store when they did what they did, and then they like already had like the legal stuff written up. They already had like the video done. They were just ready to go with it, and they
Yep.
like they're just playing 4D chess over there.
Yeah. Uh, and also, people need to know this. It costs more money to buy V-Bucks on your cell phone.
Chess.
App Store or not, it costs more. It's all a scam. This whole I don't know. This whole thing just doesn't make sense. I understand why it's big. I get that. It's a big thing that's happening in gaming. I don't understand why it's happening. My mind is it makes zero
it's
sense to me.
it's hard to
It
say
makes
what their goal is. Maybe it's just publicity. I'd believe that if that were the
trying to
case.
make their game bigger. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah,
But
because like
whenever
I just don't buy the fact that they're trying to do this out of their own goodwill for like the betterment of the Apple ecosystem. Like I just I don't
I'm
I
wondering,
don't
I'm like wondering what is Epic like? Are they
because
trying?
they because so their issue, right, is that Apple has a monopoly with the App Store. Now, regardless of whether or not you think that is true,
It's
at the
their app
same
store.
time, at the same time, Epic is launching their own, well, not is launching, has launched for a while and continues to utilize their own PC game launcher, the Epic Game Store.
Right.
And what have they been doing? They have been gobbling up exclusive games for their platform. Now,
Yes.
they are by no means a monopoly yet, but why, if that's not your goal, why else would you have exclusives on your platform? If that's not your goal, to be a
Hmm.
monopoly, then why would you get so many exclusives for your platform? So there's almost like a double standard here,
I I
because
did I did not think about this.
we really haven't seen this in another game store, to my knowledge, at least not on this scale.
Hmm.
Like Steam has been around for a long time, and I don't think they have these kind of deals where it's like, no, it's only on Steam. I mean, maybe they have recently now, where they're trying to do it to just kind of combat Epic, which makes sense. But like, now granted, you could also say that, well, they've had the monopoly for years. so they just do whatever. And sure, but it's it's all very interesting. It's all very
I,
interesting.
I don't understand it. I really don't. But regardless of all of that, Epic is taking another step forward. We mentioned this very shortly. They're having a tournament and
Well,
they're
they had a
handing out.
tournament already.
They had did the
It's
tournament
already
already
done.
happen?
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
on Sunday.
Okay. They had a tournament in which they were handing out prizes. Okay. Normally it's a money prize, but Epic wanted to take this whole entire thing a little bit of a step further. Some more publicity, if you would say. You could get a free Fortnite hat and then a non iOS gaming hardware, including an Alienware laptop, a Galaxy Tab S7, a OnePlus 8 phone, a PlayStation 4 Pro, an Xbox One X, or a Nintendo Switch. Are they taking this a little bit too far? I mean, they already have, but now
They're just pouring more gas on the fire. But yeah,
this is
honestly, the whole free Fortnite thing with the in-game anti-Apple prizes, like this opens up a whole nother conversation. And I'm gonna Google the definition of this word real quick to make sure I'm using it correctly. Uh, okay, I do believe this is the correct word. So they're they're pushing this hashtag free Fortnite anti-Apple agenda. I know
Mhm.
agendas. That's not the word that I looked up, but I know agenda is it's like a it's like a controversial word, but like it's the
Yes,
word here. It's the word to
I
use.
got you. I got you.
Agenda. So they're pushing this anti-Apple agenda within their game, and there's a lot of kids that play Fortnite. There's a lot of kids, young kids, don't know any better, and this is kind of propaganda. Like I know propaganda is like a very like usually political word, but I believe the definition fits here,
Yeah,
and
you
it's
might be right.
I I don't think it's okay.
So here's it. All right. Can I give you my scenario in my head of what's going on?
Sure.
Take a 5-year-old, put him on the floor with some toys. Take a 14-year-old, put him in the same room with toys. All right. I feel like there's a fight going on between these two. The 14-year-old is kind of like Apple. They actually don't care, but they care enough to fight this in a legal way. Like they're doing all. Epic, on the other hand, they're throwing a tantrum. Like they are literally going and crying about this by doing everything they can in a passive aggressive way to get their way. I it, I'm sorry, but honestly, I get there's Epic fans out there. That's fine. I have nothing against Epic except I just don't like Fortnite. That's fine. Whatever. Okay. I don't hate Epic by any means. I don't hate Apple by any means. I own an Apple phone. Okay. I played Fortnite season 3. Okay, for like 5 minutes. But here's the thing. You're going so far. Like Apple is just sitting with their lawyers day after day after day, and Fortnite is throwing out free Fortnite tournaments where it literally has a llama with a bite being taken out of it because they're trying to make it an Apple thing. The whole thing doesn't. This is my scenario. This is actually what's happening. This is actually it's a 5-year-old versus a 14-year-old. The 14-year-old doesn't care. They're going to win and the 5-year-old is trying to throw every little tiny thing at them that they possibly can and knowing that they're not going to win. You're right. It's propaganda.
I mean, it's it's messy. It's real messy.
It's
I
dumb.
guess yeah. I do want to reiterate what we mentioned last week as well. Again, what Epic is pushing for is not a bad thing.
Right.
It's not a bad thing. It would not be a bad thing for Apple to reduce their margin in the App Store. 30% is a lot.
It is.
It's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot. Let's be honest. They're well established. That could get lowered.
Right.
What Epic is pushing for is not bad. the way they are doing it is not okay. This is not how you make positive change. This is not
If
how you get what you want. And I think your analogy was kind of spot on. Like it's kind of like a kid throwing a tantrum because they don't know the actual way to get things to change.
Yeah, and I think Epic is in and over their heads because they got a little bit. I think their ego got inflated with Fortnite. That's honestly what I think happened. I think Fortnite got really big. They got a lot of money, and they actually don't know how to manage an organization. And so they're throwing tantrums with all these. Listen, I don't care how many millions of dollars you have. You have nothing on Apple. They have lawyers ready for this. It doesn't make it actually doesn't make sense. Who can go up against Apple? Google, Disney, Amazon. These are big companies. Epic. I'm sorry, but you're in the food. You're on the food chain, dude, and you're not at the top of it. If Fall Guys is beating you right now, I mean, come on. If Fall Guys is beating you right now, Apple's gonna beat you.
Oh man.
It triggers me. It really does. But we'll continue to see what happens.
Yep.
Apparently, there's supposed to be a ruling later this week, right? I think it's either this week or beginning of next week. They're supposed to give another ruling.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's a final one or what, but I did read
We'll
that they
see.
should be giving another ruling of some sort at some point on this whole
Yeah.
entire crazy bonanza that we're on here.
Yeah. I did realize though that before we get off the Apple topic, I forgot to give you guys an update on the podcast in general at the beginning.
Right.
So
Speaking of
we
Apple.
are on Apple Podcasts now. So they might not like Epic Games, but we're on their good side. Hey.
You know what?
So you can now listen to the YokeTalk and GodSquadChurch sermons on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, God,
Hey.
really? The
Yep.
sermons
So
too?
that's everywhere too. Transistor, Google
Nice.
Podcasts, Spotify. Yep. We're on all the things. So that's
Very
pretty cool.
nice.
They actually
That's
approved
awesome.
us this time. So they don't hate us. They just hate Epic Games. But
I'm completely fine with this.
to go along with that, Podbean is officially dead. We would have to keep paying for it to continue having the podcast on there. And basically the whole reason that I moved off of Podbean was because in order to have YokeTalk and the GodSquadChurch sermons under the same umbrella and just with one payment, like we would have had to pay Podbean either 10 times as much or like pay them twice with like 2 account subscriptions in order to do both. So Transistor, we can just do that for much cheaper and it's all under one account. So it just doesn't make sense for us to continue Podbean. So if any of you enjoyed listening on Podbean, I apologize. I'm very new to the podcasting thing. Didn't really know what I was doing. I had to pick one to start with. I picked Podbean and ended up not being the best fit. So we're on Transistor now.
and we did not plan to talk about this right after the Apple Epic feud, but here we are. And honestly, fits right in.
It's right in.
Fits right in. Thank you, Apple. That's all I gotta
Apple.
say. Thank you.
I'm glad
Apple.
you like us.
Yeah, me too.
Apple is yokers.
Apple is one company I would not want to go up against ever. So here we are.
Glad they like us.
Epic. I'm sorry. All right. Anyways, moving along from that. Even though Epic might not be able to save themselves and save their face from what's going on right now, developers are using mobile games to save the planet.
Captain Planet, not Captain
He's
Planet.
our hero. He is our hero, taking what is it, trash or garbage down to zero, something of that nature. But anyway, so pollution down to zero.
So this is actually a topic we had in the doc for last week, but we didn't have time to get for it. And honestly, there's not a ton to talk about here, but I thought it was cool. Basically, there's a couple games, apps, phone app games that are kind of bringing in some like educational things to their games. So like Angry Birds 2. Also, I didn't know there was an Angry Birds 2. Why did there need to be a sequel? Why did there need to be an Overwatch sequel? These are the questions that we ask.
Danielle loves Angry Birds 2. That's all I got to say. I walked in last night at 11:30 at night and she was playing Angry Birds 2.
Was that before or after you got on whatchamajigger? Teamfight Tactics.
I didn't play Teamfight Tactics last night.
Okay.
I went to bed.
I was just remembering the other story with
Oh,
Teamfight
yeah,
Tactics.
no. Teamfight Tactics, I do play every once in a while, maybe once every 3 months on my phone, but Danielle is consistently playing Angry Birds too.
Anyway,
She's got
so
she's got apples and birds and all sorts of things.
I believe Angry Birds 2 is basically incorporating things into the game, uh, telling people about the importance of planting trees, so that we're replenishing our forests and things like that. And then there's this Transformers game called Transformers Earth Wars,
Yeah.
um, which honestly looks pretty stinking cool for a mobile game. But
I haven't watched anything about it yet, but I'm looking at the article right now. I'm like, what in the world? This is
yeah,
interesting.
look, it's got it. But yeah, so what they're doing is they're kind of incorporating things about like renewable energy and stuff like that. So it kind of fits with the Transformers, technology sort of thing. So I think it's really cool that developers are incorporating these things into their game because we should take care of the planet. That's a
We
good
should.
thing.
We should. We
It's a
should.
good thing.
It's a good
Take
thing to
care of
get
the planet.
into recycling and all that good stuff. Yeah. I mean, I, there's nothing really to say against this. You're trying to use something for a good thing. Like there's a lot of people that play mobile games out there.
Yeah,
Millions and millions and millions of people that play mobile games. So why not?
it's
Pretty
good. It's
cool.
great. It's exactly the kind of content we like on the YokeTalk. It's been so
Fresh,
much controversy lately.
fresh, clean, positive content.
This is
Fresh,
what you
clean,
come to the YokeTalk
positive.
for.
You have Epic and Apple, and it's like, but then
Hotness.
we're all saving the planet because we are all playing games on our mobile phones. Save the planet. Play Angry Birds 2. Save the planet. Plant a tree.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. Play Angry Birds 2. Do something on your phone,
man.
whether it's Android or Apple, whoever it is, doesn't matter. You can't play Fortnite anyways. Now, you still can until the end of the month. Just remember. But anyways, guys, we did put one thing in here last minute, and I felt like we needed to put this in here because honestly, it's big. Let's be completely honest. There's a new game that's coming out by Amazon. It's technically their second game, I guess you can say, that's
Weird.
coming
This
out.
is like the first one announced, but then
Second
Crucible
game that
came out
came out,
first, and
but
then they unreleased
they
it.
unreleased it. So New World is coming out. We just don't know when yet. It was supposed to be back in stinking
We know
April.
when. I think they just pushed it way back to next year. I
Yeah,
think
well,
it has
that's
an
the
actual date.
Does it have a date?
I
I don't
think
know,
so.
but it was back in April. It was supposed to be released or May or something like that. And then they pushed it forward like a month or two. And then
So
they pushed it
August.
forward like 4 months. And then they were like, okay, let's just let's just throw it into 2021. So 2021, I don't remember the exact day, May
May
2021,
2021.
River says.
Thank you, River.
So yeah, so it's coming out. Now here's my thing. I pre-ordered this on March 25th. Okay. I looked at the date on Amazon today. March 25th, I went and pre-ordered this game. I was excited about it. It's a new MMO. I love MMOs. Honestly, I know a lot of people are trying to make these funny this game and this game had a baby. I'll be completely honest. I have not seen one that I agree with yet. I've seen people say that it looks like the gameplay is like Horizon. It's not. I've seen people
Now
say
you
it's
haven't
like
played it.
Dark Souls and Bloodborne. It's not like I haven't played it, no, but when I look at it, that's not what it looks like. To me, it looks like Skyrim. And what was the other game I said? Huh?
RuneScape.
Yes, Skyrim and RuneScape had a baby. Now you're like RuneScape, you can cut down trees. So you can't. You can't fight me on this. But regardless, looks like a decent game. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't played it yet. Have not played it yet, but it looks like a decent game. I think it looks good. I think it looks
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
To be completely
Um,
honest.
Ultimately, we'll have to play it before we can make a final decision. But
Right.
I liked what I was watching. I was watching Susie play it today, off and on, and it looks good. I mean, I don't know how much there is to do, and obviously I don't know everything about all the systems, but it looks fresh at the
Yeah.
very least. It looks like they're trying new things, and I can always get behind that.
Yep. I am too. I'm kind of excited about it. Here's my problem though. Is there a story? River asks. Currently, right now, no. Now, here's the thing I'm worried about. Crucible. It came out. It
Mhm.
got unreleased.
Yes.
This is never. Gaming has been around for a long time. Over 30 years, 40 years. It's been around for a long time. Has a game ever been unreleased? On like
Didn't
with those terms, games got shut down. Did a game ever get unreleased?
you could maybe make the argument for Final Fantasy 14 because
It didn't get unreleased.
kind of
It
though,
got rebooted. So it was
but
Final
it
Fantasy 14 1.0 when they came back out with it 5 years later. The story was not the same, and it was called Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn 2.0, and the storyline was literally they used
right.
1.0, calling it a complete disaster. I forgot what the word is they used in it, but they literally showed the entire world being obliterated and
Yep.
essentially saying our game was garbage and we destroyed it and we built it from the ground up, a realm reborn. That so it didn't get
That's it's
unreleased.
right. It's not the exact same, but I think that's the closest thing.
Yeah, okay, I could see that, but
It's
it's
the
not.
closest comparison that we have.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they shut down the servers. That's all they did. Crucible, they actually just stopped everything.
I mean, they're still
Like,
working on it, right?
they're working on the same game though. Like I don't know. So I'm a little bit worried. Not gonna lie. That worries me. People are like, oh yeah, but that was a different game. It's I'm worried.
I mean, we don't know, or maybe we do know. I don't know if there's different studios working on the games. Obviously, they're probably under one banner, but I'd imagine there could definitely be different studios working on the two games, different groups of people.
Yeah.
So I don't think Crucible's failure necessarily means that New World is going to follow suit. Obviously, they're
Right.
very different games too. So maybe Amazon isn't really good at making a MOBA style game, but maybe they would be better at making an MMO. So
That's true. That's true. And it's not just that though. I'm usually one for delaying games if it's going to make the game better, right?
mhm.
I always have believed that. Do I get upset when a game gets delayed? Sure, everybody does. Developers are under a lot of pressure to put out a date just because they get told by their boss to put out a date. I get that. But you've pushed it back long. Like this is starting to scare me. Other games that have done this, it gets pushed back. I'll take this Final Fantasy 15. When it came out finally, it was all right. Eh, I never
Zelda games
finished
get
it,
pushed back all the time
but they're good.
because they get pushed back.
Right, but this is different. This is New World. Like this is not a
We
franchise that
trust Nintendo. We do
I
not
I
trust Jeff Bezos.
I do trust Nintendo. I do. By the way, thanks for Prime Gaming, Jeff. But anyways, yeah, I trust Nintendo games. Right? They come out with a good game. There's glitches, but it's not like game breaking stuff with dragons flying upside down. Bethesda. So I mean, like I'm okay with this. But New World, I'm a little worried. A little bit worried for the game. We don't have a lot of details on the game yet. The details that we do have, I'm not gonna say they're scarce. There is a lot of details, but it gets to the point where it's jumbled on me. I don't know. I don't know. I have it pre-ordered currently.
Oh, you didn't cancel it?
I did not cancel it. It says I pre-ordered it twice, but I only have one in my order, so I gotta check my bank account. But regardless of all that,
Well, I don't think you actually get charged until it comes out, or maybe you do because it gives you beta access. I don't know.
I don't know how it works to
I
be
don't know how it
completely
works
honest.
either.
But regardless of all that, Hopefully, I'll be able to try to beta before September 4th. I'm not too sure how to get into that. If you know, please shoot me a DM. Tell me to check my email or something. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyways, yeah. So I gotta try to beta. Eh, I'm worried.
I think it looks decent.
I'm worried. I'm worried about it. But
Anyway, so that brings us to the end of the podcast here, where we just talk about what we've been playing, things we're looking forward to. So obviously, we were talking about it in the previous weeks, but the new Warframe update came out today, and I haven't played it yet because it literally came out like 15 minutes before we started YokeTalk, and not that
look
I
at
really
how
would have been
look at
able
how
to play it
dedicated this man is.
anyway because
Look at
I was
how
working.
dedicated he
But
is
so
for you yokers.
next week I'll be able to talk about it. But I have not played it. But I'm very excited. I actually I have a Warframe blanket right now because it's a little chilly. So I have my Warframe blanket keeping me warm.
He's all
Hey,
set.
I'm I'm set, guys.
Was there something else you got today?
There was. I got Warframe sandals.
Warframe Sandals. Who would have thought that they would come out with Warframe Sandals? I mean, that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it's pretty
Indeed,
sweet.
indeed.
I wish I had a Legend of Zelda sandal currently, but two sandals. Sorry, pair of sandals. I don't, not just one. If I just had one, it would be very awkward for me. But
I'll put a pic on probably Instagram for you guys that want to see it. But
nice.
but yeah. So I don't really have much else to talk about.
Here's my
aside
question:
from that.
Are you going to be playing the update on your stream when you
Yes.
inconsistently stream? Okay.
Yes. I will do that.
Okay.
I usually
was
do
just
that
wondering.
for the major Warframe updates.
Okay, because I know you love Warframe, but you're not necessarily into streaming it. Same with
Mhm.
me. I love Final Fantasy 14, but I'm not the biggest streamer for it, right? I streamed it for a little while. It was all right, but I like playing it by myself.
Yeah.
So
The new updates, the big ones at least, are usually enough excitement for me to want to stream it. There
Okay.
is a quest that comes with this one, not like a main story quest, but it should be a really nice quest nevertheless. So those are always fun to stream.
Nice. Have you streamed Outer Wilds yet?
No, I have not started it yet.
Hmm,
I only just finished SpongeBob last week, so
right. You haven't streamed since then, have you?
yeah, I'm
Okay.
in Kentucky now after all.
Hey, things happen. You could stream from your remote, whatever you're
I
doing right
could, if I really wanted to, I could do that. That would
now.
actually be hilarious. I kind
There
of
was
want to do
one
that
time,
now.
guys. There was one time Unworthy Seraph came up
I
to
was
see
telling I was telling Ruby about this.
he came up to see me and my wife in Connecticut, all the way from South Carolina. He drove up. I didn't have Warframe downloaded, but Warframe had a brand new update, it was the open world update.
Yep,
That's what it
Plains of
was. A
Eidolon.
couple years ago. And literally, he downloaded it all day long. And he streamed it when I went to bed at like midnight. He
Because you had
streamed
to
it
get up
from
early for work, so like you had
Yep.
to go to bed at like 9. So like I'm not used to going to bed at 9. So like I'm not gonna go to bed just because he went to bed. So like what am I gonna do? Well, Warframe update is out. He has a
He
computer there
downloaded
that
it
he's not
and he
using,
just
and
Yep,
I streamed Warframe from the boiler room.
from the boiler room.
From the OG boiler room.
From I wonder how do did you delete everything the DMCA stuff, or do you still have like a clip of that? Because that would
Somebody would have had to clip it. I don't know if there is one.
Oh man, that would have been great to see. But
Yeah.
those were the old
I,
days.
I remember it. I remember it vividly. It was great.
Nice.
It was
Nice.
wonderful. Shout outs to anyone who came in for that. I don't remember who was there, but if you remember,
It was
let
a
me know.
long time ago. It was like 2-3 years ago now. At least 3 years. But
I don't know
anyways,
about 3. Probably
yeah,
2.
it was it was at least 3.
Plains of Eidolon release.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's been 3 years. If anything, 2 years and 9 months. But I think it's been 3. But anyways, guys, for me personally, my stream, many of you came in on Sunday, and you may have been very sad to see or happy to see.
You're right. Almost 3 years.
Telling you,
You're
telling you.
right.
I move a lot. And I know the
November
years that I moved.
14th, 2017.
9 months.
3
2 years, 9 months.
years.
2
Wow.
years, 9 months on the dot. Let's go.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. I threw out the 2 years and 9 months out of nowhere. That wasn't even planned. But anyways, so guys, maybe you may have seen. Okay, let me talk about this for 2 seconds.
This man needs
All
to
right.
talk about Paper Mario.
I have to talk about this. I talked about this on my stream. This has never happened to me before. My stream is not known for finishing games. Okay. My stream is not known for it. I've finished a lot of Legend of Zelda games. I've finished Skyrim. I've finished Final Fantasy games on my stream. I've finished a lot of game my streams, but there's a lot of games. I'll say probably at least 50% of the games I start, I don't finish.
Sure.
Main reason, something happens. My wife was getting sick. I couldn't stream for 5 months, got out of playing it, whatever it was. Okay. Lots of things happen. This has never happened to me on my stream. I picked up this game with everything in me saying this is going to be a good game. Apart from reviews and everything else that said it was a 7 out of 10, I picked up this game thinking it's good. It's Paper Mario. It can't be that bad. The charm is still there. It's got the colorfulness. It's got a decent story. I can't do it anymore. Stream. Everybody, yokers out there, people that come to Boz GS, I gotta tell you something. Not this past Sunday, but 2 Sundays ago, I tried to play Fall Guys. And you guys saw that it would not load on my PC, and I knew that I would have to restart my PC to play Fall Guys. But I said to myself, let's just get this over with. Let's just get this over with. And I put in Paper Mario, and I said to you guys, if Fall Guys didn't work today, I don't know when the next time I would have played Paper Mario was. And then in that moment, I realized I don't want to play this game.
It sounds like a breakup.
I don't want.
It sounds like
it's not you, Paper Mario. It's not you.
You're like I've tried everything. I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it.
It's Fall Guys. But literally, I can't. Like, my wife's knocking on the door. It's during the YokeTalk. I don't know what's going on. My wife comes in for the YokeTalk. Guys, this is crazy. My wife came in for the YokeTalk. And
special guest appearance.
Guys, oh my gosh. Okay. You know what? Most cases, I would not show this for the YokeTalk, and I'd be like, what are you doing here on the YokeTalk, guys? She bought me one of my favorite characters ever from Mario.
Hi, sir.
She bought me a blue Shy Guy.
And
also, why? Mario, is this all for me? And a piranha plant. And what in the world?
Plant gang.
Who is this? Iggy? Lemmy. And a Goomba. Why?
Why not?
I love you so much. My wife is the best. My wife is the best. So, anyways, speaking of Paper Mario and how much I don't like the game, on a scale of 1 to 10, at first I had given the game a
generous 3.
No, it was a generous 3. My goodness.
That's what Danielle gave it.
It was like I was trying to give it a 7, and then there's just so much talking, and it went down to a 6.5. And then I was like,
the dialogue's funny though.
It's funny, but listen, there's 9,000 toads. I felt like I was doing nothing but seeking out toads, and they all had something to say, more than one line. And it got to the point I started running away from battles because the RPG really doesn't matter in the game. There's no RPG anything in there except for when you find a heart, and that gives you extra stuff. So I don't even have to battle anything unless I'm running short on coins, and that game gives you coins up the wazoo. So I decided in that moment, I recognized I can't play this game on stream anymore. Am I ever going to finish this game? Probably not. I'll get there's a point.
This is a breakup. This is a breakup.
0.9% chance that I will finish this game. 0.9%.
So sad.
However, I'm playing Breath of the Wild on my stream.
Saw that. I was driving when I got the notification, so I couldn't watch. But
I was enjoying myself.
There you go.
So like I said, this doesn't normally happen on my stream. Yes, there are games that I don't finish, but I've never had a game that I just realized I can't play this game anymore. So I'm sorry for those of you that
Yeah.
love Paper Mario, loving the story, love the colors, love the charm, love the battle system. Why would you like that battle system? I don't know.
It's weird.
It's not good. The game, it's gotten to the point I give it a 5 out of 10. It's not a horrible game. It's not a horrible game, but it's not good. It's not bad. It's like a 5 out of 10 for me is I got better things to do with my time.
It's a sad story to conclude the YokeTalk podcast here today.
It's a happy story though, because I like Breath of the Wild.
Okay, sure. Happy ending. Happy ending. Boz is
Silver
happy.
lining, everybody.
He's happy. He just had to break someone's heart to do it. No.
I broke Paper Mario's heart. Let me tell you. My goodness, I couldn't do it anymore. Everybody, too much talking in that game.
Gosh.
It was rough. It was a rough struggle, but here we are. So
Here we are.
anyways, guys, it was fun talking to you guys. I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing rest of your week. Seraph, I hope you have an amazing rest of your time in Kentucky.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Should be good. Should be good.
Well, that wraps it up, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, you can listen to the podcast now on Apple Podcasts. So we're on all the major things now. It's great. You guys can listen wherever you want. I thank you guys for sticking with us with the YokeTalk podcast. We got the big episode 10 coming up next week. Maybe we should do something special.
Are we doing something special for episode 10?
I had no ideas until just now, but well, I still have no ideas, but I hadn't even thought to do something special until just now. So we've got a week to think about ideas.
I have a Shy Guy.
That's not special enough. I'm sorry. Unless you can be a guest.
It's okay.
So if you guys have any ideas on how we can make episode 10 special, well, let us know. And you can always send us topics that you guys want us to cover, because we didn't say that either today.
Truth. We did.
But
That was on me again.
Yeah,
Send us topics, guys. If you guys have any topics you want to hear us talk about, updates, gaming, doesn't even have to be gaming.
Say it now.
If you have something, send it to us on Discord via DMs or here on Twitch. Whisper us.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much again for watching, and we will see you next week. Yokers, take care.
Later.